Hey yo dudes and gals, welcome back to the headquarters, and today I have my lovely teammate with me. Say hello.
Shut up.
Never mind. And today I have some really
Juicy
updates for you. First, for all of those who are thinking, who the hell is this guy and what in the world is he doing? Well, I'm a Portuguese game developer currently living and working in the Netherlands, and no, I'm not making my dream game. Definitely don't have the skills, nor the time, not even an idea what my dream game is. But I really think what I'm making can become a really fun game. I'm creating a game in Godot 4. Currently we have the version 4.3, which came not so long ago with a ton of very good updates. In the game, you control a character which is a boss of a taxi company. The goal is to expand your fleet and crew and conquer the most regions of the map possible, while competing against other companies. Across the map, the player will be able to find different shops like weapons or car dealerships. This way, there are different ways to take out the competition. Maybe you will secure your areas with patrolling crew, or just get the closest AK-47 and shoot down the competition. Maybe you just want to buy a really fancy sports car and deliver your customers by yourself. The idea is to let the player manage his resources the way he wants to. Of course, this is the overall idea of the game, and since I already know that the overscoping disease for us game devs is so real, probably can be some changes along its way. Enough with the fancy presentations and let's go back to the devlog. Ish. Everyone talks about the importance of a GDD, a game design document. So I was doing a bit of research on that, and with the help of ChatGPT actually and Google Docs, I'm starting to organize all of my game into one single beautiful document. I also got inspired by these videos and decided to start using Notion and Miro better to keep track and organize all of what is currently happening and what to do on the game. Keep in mind, this is definitely not sponsored. Come on guys. Look at the numbers. But I'm absolutely loving Notion, as I can keep track of my current development process, such as bugs, tweaks, stuff to implement, and even link everything together so that when I'm preparing a video for you guys, I can have a full list of all that I worked on during that time. Miro I'm only using to organize flow systems, let's say. For now I made the overall idea on how the customer AI will work and which state it will transition to. And with Notion, I can easily upload it to my backlog and reference it whenever I'm working on the NPCs. I believe these tools are more than enough to keep everything organized. Now, let's go back to the
juicy
part of this video. I know that some of you might think that it's too soon to start thinking about game juice, and to some extent you are right. I'm not gonna focus only on game juice, but to the systems that are ready, I can already start implementing some game juice as it is more visual appealing for me and even for you guys. Now, 2D art. Oh, I'm so bad at drawing and 2D graphics in general, whatever involves 2D. I usually suck at it. I started with this because my current UI was making me a bit sick, so I definitely needed to revamp it. Later on, I'm thinking of possibly hiring someone from Fiverr or something to actually design the UI pieces that I need for the game, but I still wanted to make some changes on what I could. I decided to start with this hideous, distorted Nokia of this guy and upgraded it to a brand new model. Still Nokia, but with some fancy icons now. Woo! When the phone is lowered, it will show the player the minimap, which I still need to look up how to implement that, but now when we pull up our phone, our animation is way better. Then we have our main menu. This will be where the most of our UI will reside. I also completely revamped the inventory system, and now when we press the inventory button, we get this transition to landscape mode, a small loading screen, and our inventory opens up inside of the actual phone. We got new over animations, double click to grab an item, and if we want more options, we can right click the item and it opens this pop-up window with several options. And I finally got the item inspector working as well. Now, when we click an item, we pass some of that item info into some good looking containers. For these small description nodes, I have a series of scenes with different icons and settings, and each scene has a script which we are passing our item data and updating the value necessary on the respective label 2D. Then, our item data will save an array of the description nodes it needs, and when we click an item, we add each node scene to a flow container, which gives us this effect. On the gameplay side, I discovered this huge quality of life upgrade that a baby starting to use Godot should learn, and that it took me more than a year to find out, which is state machines. More specific, finite state machines? State machines. These bad boys, basically what they are doing is dividing our player script by chunks, which is different states like walk, run, shoot, reload, and when we enter a state, only that necessary piece of logic is running. For example, if we are driving, there is a lot of stuff still running and being checked in the background of our player script that we don't actually need. This is a huge saver, because it actually made the character movement and interactions more performant. And right now, if I have a problem in a state or want to add something, the code is way more compact and easy to understand. Although it took me some time to implement, it was definitely worth it. I will leave a link to the tutorial I followed on the description below. Another upgrade is when we equip a weapon. We got already some effects going on as well. When the player is shooting, our bullets now have two trails. One static, and it's via a ribbon cross mesh and a simple shader, where I'm just panning the UV of a custom gradient along time. And this already adds a lot to our bullets. The other trail is more dynamic. I'm using this plugin right here, together with the same shader of the first trail with some minor tweaks. And it will apply a trail according to the velocity of the projectile and some other settings like lifetime and color, which I also made it to start on a smooth yellow and transition to white and transparent. All together, and our bullets look way juicier. Sorry for using the term so many times on this video, but that's the whole point of this video actually. And this way, the player has a better sense of where to aim as well. On our weapons, I added a muzzle flash and some muzzle smoke as well. One particle system for the smoke and two particle systems, one horizontal and one vertical, for the muzzle flash. This muzzle flash cross implementation possibly will be changed later, but I really like the outcome of this way too. Keep in mind that both the muzzle effects and the bullet trails are only for standard weapons, so rocket launchers and shotguns are not included. Those I'm still gonna work on, but I want some different systems on it to actually represent them better. To trigger these effects, I added a script to each weapon scene that is triggering each system accordingly when the player enters the shoot state. The muzzle flash systems are set to be one shot, and this is triggered right before instancing the bullet on our weapon manager, to make it work with all the fire rates. Now for the smoke. For faster weapons, we are just turning on our muzzle smoke and leave it emitting. But if it's a pistol or a slower shooting weapon, I switch it to one shot and trigger it together with the muzzle flash, making it more realistic, I guess. And I also promised you guys some throwables on this video. And although they are not complete, you can already throw them around the map. The C4 satchel for now is just gluing to the ground when it lands, resets its rotation, and plays this standby animation that I created with the light and changing the color of the 3D mesh of the LED. This makes it look like it's actually turning on and blinking. Not perfect, but definitely looking nice in the game. And for the Molotov, I broke it into some pieces using the Cell Fracture add-on in Blender, and then using the Destruction plugin, we can import our broken model and trigger the destruction when the Molotov reaches the ground. Together with this, I also added a couple of particle systems to generate this liquid splash effect. This is the only logic that the throwables have for now. I want to create some nicer shaders and particle systems for impacts and explosions, for example. And I didn't want this video to take more time than it took already. I'm trying to improve my uploading schedule for you guys. Hey, look at that subscribe button. Doesn't it look
juicy?
Press it. To actually throw a throwable, we have two different states, a charged throw state and a throw state. If the player has a throwable equipped and starts pressing the fire button, we enter the charged throw state. Now, if it's released before time, the throw will be cancelled. If it's fully charged up and we release the fire button, then we transition to the throw state where we actually throw the grenade. For these two states, I basically chopped the throw animation from Mixamo, of course, in two parts, one for the charged throw and the other for throwing. And at the end of the throw state, the player will load another throwable if it has the ammo for it. I also lost quite some time trying to figure out how to do a trajectory prediction system. I was trying to draw a small trail so that the player can know where is it gonna land the actual throwable. I definitely wasn't successful and I could not implement it, so if any of you guys have any idea of how to do it, oh please, may the comment section be at your will. Go ahead. I tried to generate a path and then applying a CSG mesh to it, but the overall calculations of the physics systems and the overall system actually was just too much for me. I decided to raise the white flag for now, but who knows, maybe later there will be an easier way to do it. As I usually say, if you have any feedback, ideas, opinions, whatever is going through that mind of yours, I actually have a Discord channel. Usually nothing happens there, but feel free to participate in something. As always, ladies and gentlemen, have a very wonderful rest of your day, and I see y'all later.